America. I put out a very comprehensive plan rewriting the healthcare system, Medicare, Social Security, our entire tax system.
The Paul Ryan Medicare plan turns Medicare into a voucher system.
The Paul Ryan budget, which cuts aid to the disabled, which cuts aid to the immigrants' children, which cuts aid to the elderly,
would cut Pell Grants for college students by $170 billion and cut off 1 million students over the next decade.
The cuts in here are so dramatic. They are so painful.
It gives a $4.3 trillion tax cut to the wealthiest in this country.
That's just part of a new ad from the Obama campaign slamming Ryan for his Medicare plan. Even Romney has tried to distance himself from the plan. Listen to what he said about it on 60 Minutes just last night.
Now, some people are saying you are making it a referendum on Paul Ryan's budget plan.
Well, I have my budget plan, as you know, that I've put out, and that's the budget plan that we're going to run on.
Okay, I'm going to turn to you now, Brad. We're going to talk about Medicare and whether that's the top issue, but I promised in the last break to let you respond to what Frank had said.
Frank made a good point about fiscal responsibility, and that, you know, Ryan did vote for, you know, auto bailout. He voted for TARP, but I think that will prove to voters, I think this could work the other way, is that this may prove to voters that he can negotiate and he can reach across party lines, and he's a guy that understands that, you know, when we are in a real pinch, that, yeah, the only answer isn't just to take money and stash it back into the coffers. You can spend some. So anyway, that being said, but on the Medicare issue, again, the lines are being drawn. Paul Ryan did something, and in his budget proposals, is that he's going to go and take a chunk out of one of the biggest line items that exists in our federal budget. And he says, yeah, we need to do something about Medicare. Now, whether you agree with it or not, clearly it is a huge cut into Medicare. And that being the case is that you're going to offend a whole bunch of people. That's why it's been the third rail of politics for such a long time. No one's touched it with a 10-foot pole. Ryan has decided he's going to go right at it, and he did it. Look, he's a bold guy. He has at least, you know, people are going to be able to say that he's willing to go out and make choices, make decisions, and put proposals out for good or for bad, and let the people decide. So I give him credit for that.
Now, Jessica, wait a minute now. Some will say, you say bold, some will say extreme conservative. He wants to replace Medicare with a voucher-based system.
He's trying to save the program for future generations. And I think, again, talking about seniors, when you make that argument to seniors, he's not abolishing Medicare. The Democrats' plan, Obamacare, is cutting $740 billion from Medicare. Ryan's plan is saying, it's not affecting current seniors. It's saying, in 10 years, let's look at a system where that provides more money for people that have less income. It provides more money for health care for people that have more illnesses and need more care. And it allows the care to stay with the individual instead of Washington bureaucrats. And I think when you make that argument, if they're able to effectively make that argument, the American people are going to be able to decide. And then when that attack doesn't work, what are they left with?
Okay, quick response, Frank. I've got to take a break.
Well, I think that's absolutely right. First, in terms of that Obama ad, it was so nice to see the Obama team put out an ad that for once didn't accuse Mitt Romney of killing anyone, which seems to be most of what we've seen from them lately. But I think people, both Jessica and Brad are correct in that people will respect Paul Ryan for at least having some ideas. I think one of the things people like about Mitt Romney is that they feel like whatever their position is, Mitt Romney will eventually come around to it. It was pro-choice, now pro-life. Was for assault weapons ban, now against it. And eventually, Romney will get around to your position, whatever it is. Paul Ryan doesn't have that same wishy-washiness. He's inconsistent on some issues because the Simpson-Bowles Commission would have addressed deficits, which he voted against, and he voted to add a huge entitlement with the prescription drug benefit. So I don't see how that squares with his Medicare reform plan now.
Okay, hold your thoughts for just 1 second.